In July of 2007, I moved to where I'm living now. When I first moved here, the landlord acted nice and said he wanted to give me a lawnmower. I can pinpoint the exact moment when his personality flipped and when he first revealed his hatred for me. The day he dropped off the lawnmower at my house was soon after I moved in. I tried my very best to make the simple act of him dropping off the lawnmower go as smooth as possible. The landlord shows up at my house. He knocks on my door and says he has the lawnmower he wants to give me. He wanted me to come outside and open my shed. I didn't know this guy and what he is like. I really didn't want to go outside. I only wanted to have as little interaction with him as I possibly can in an effort to avoid any circumstance that could cause him to hate me. I told him to leave the lawnmower in front of the shed. He wanted to put the lawnmower inside of the shed for me. All I was trying to do was minimize my contact with him as much as possible. I thought the easiest way to do that was to just say I would put the lawnmower in the shed. In an instant, his niceness turned to hatred. He had a fit. He shouted, "You think I'm an idiot. You think I'm an idiot." And then he stomped off. I did nothing to provoke him. No matter how hard I tried to avoid a conflict with him, he exhibited extreme anger and hatred against me, and it is based on nothing but pure prejudice and hatred against me. The lawnmower he gave me is a rechargeable electric. I discovered after using it that it only held enough charge to only do a fraction of the lawn. Okay then, I will do whatever a charge can do, and I'll charge it, and then do more the next day. Before I could get a chance to do more the next day, the landlord would complain that the lawn wasn't done. He wouldn't say that a part of the lawn was done. He would just say the lawn wasn't done. Not as in completed, but as in not done at all. When I attempted to tell him I did as much of the lawn a charge would do, he would blame me for not finishing the lawn. I would continue to explain and say that I started and I have to wait for the next charge to do more. I would get absolutely no understanding from him, even though he gave me the lawnmower and was familiar with it. Every spring I would try to make an effort to mow the lawn. I would use that rechargeable electric lawnmower. I would run out of power before completing it. The landlord would complain about the lawn before I had a chance to finish it the next day, after the lawnmower charged overnight. Then I would have a lawn service do it for the rest of the season. Spring 2009. Once again, I took out that rechargeable electric lawnmower, and I should say that yes, I charged it overnight and did not just run it with whatever charge it had. With a full charge, the lawnmower runs out of power before completing the lawn. The landlord complains that the lawn isn't mowed before I can get the lawnmower charged again and do more of the lawn the next day. I moved here in 2007. This is 2009. And the same exact thing happens every year. I tried to speak to the landlord's assistant. I thought I might have better luck with him instead of talking to the landlord. I explained the situation. I said that even with a full charge, the rechargeable electric lawnmower runs out of power before completing the entire lawn. His response was, "So you didn't finish the lawn." Even after explaining how the lawnmower couldn't finish the lawn, he was blaming me in a way to say that I was unwilling to finish the lawn. I didn't call the landlord immediately after talking to his assistant. By the time I did call the landlord, the two of them had already spoken to each other. The landlord accused me of yelling at his assistant. The landlord's assistant was so unwilling to acknowledge my explanation of the lawnmower that it just turned into an argument. After I talked to the landlord and failed to have any successful conversation with him, at this point I am so infuriated that I didn't call the normal police number. I called 911 and screaming to them, I did it, I mowed the fucking lawn, and still he complains. I took out the battery from the lawnmower and determined that the battery should be replaced, and then maybe it will hold a longer charge. My brother either took the battery or threw it away. Maybe my brother realizes the landlord is always going to accuse me of not doing the lawn even after I do the lawn, and that I would be better off having a lawn service do it. And so, again, the lawn service returns and does the lawn for the season. The 3rd of November, 2009, 8:30 a.m. I am in a very peaceful dream. I'm just about to hear a beautiful piece of music that likely doesn't exist anywhere in a recording. Lawnmower. It's November. Why is he still even coming here? Everyone has the individual choice to do their own lawn or hire a lawn service. The lawnmower man is here for hours doing the lawn of everyone who chooses to hire him. He starts with mine at 8:30 a.m. Every Tuesday. I go outside and request he not do my lawn at that time. What may have started as a small problem progressed into a huge, unrepairable problem. His response and demeanor was extremely defiant and very hostile, and he would not listen to me. The guy is very rude. He absolutely did not give a shit about anything I had to say. And when I saw his rudeness and hostility, it escalated into a huge argument and I fired him. Spring 2010. I said something had to be done about the lawnmower situation. The reason why my need for a new lawnmower was not addressed is because I could still be accused of not mowing the lawn even if I do it myself. My brother said he was going to look for a different lawn service. I couldn't use the electric lawnmower because the battery was missing. May 4th, 2010. The lawnmower man shows up to do the lawn again. I wasn't going to go outside to face him. It is better to stay inside and avoid the confrontation and deal with this later. The electric company came to turn off my electricity because there was a complication in the bill even though I made a payment. The electric company came here to do this at the same exact time that the lawnmower man was here doing the lawn. I heard a knock on the door. I ignored it, thinking it was the lawnmower man. When I noticed the power was off, I realized that I must have ignored the knock from the electric company. I was upset about this, so I went outside. I just got up. I was half asleep, and I started to say the same thing about being there at 8:30 a.m., forgetting that I already told him this last year. And I told him I was upset because I had ignored the electric company that was at my door to tell me they were about to turn off the electricity. He was rude and hostile and defiant. The argument escalated and I fired him again. The landlord recommends the lawnmower man because when a lot of people choose to hire him to do their own specific lawn, it's like getting a lower group rate. After having an argument with him, I have no choice but to use a different lawn service. A little bit later, the landlord was standing in my backyard inspecting my lawn while talking to his assistant. I went outside to the back and watched them. I then went to my front porch. The landlord and his assistant walked across my front yard. The landlord asked me a question. I did not want to answer him or say anything to him because I know whatever I say, he would twist around and use it against me. I told him that anything I have to say, I will say through the police. He then said, I guess we'll see you in court then. I let loose and screamed, don't intimidate me. That is a comment of intimidation, don't intimidate me. He then said, he's out of here. I then said, don't talk to me. Don't say anything to me, don't talk to me. I would later find out that yelling at him right there and then was a final violation that would initiate an eviction that the warning letter warns me about. I hadn't even seen yet. The warning letter had already been mailed previous to this and was still in the mail at that time. The first attempted delivery of the letter wasn't to occur until the next day. May 5th, 2010. I receive a notice of a certified letter. I have to go to the post office to pick it up. Like I expected, the letter is from the landlord. To my surprise, it wasn't an eviction notice. The letter is a warning that I am on probation and that the slightest violation of the rules results in eviction proceedings. May 11th, 2010. At 8:30 a.m., I hear a weed whacker right outside my house. I was too tired to get up to see if it was the lawnmower man. When I at first got up, there was no eviction letter on my door. A few hours later, there was an eviction letter on my door. I didn't see who brought it, but the letterhead on the letter says it came directly from my landlord's attorney. This is not an eviction letter that came from any court. The letter does not specify any specific reason. I thought there would be no chance that the lawnmower man would ever show up here again after our confrontation in November 2009, and yet on the 4th of May 2010, here he was doing my lawn again. May 11th, 2010, an eviction letter is posted on my door. Then I realized the scenario that would bring the lawnmower man back to do my specific lawn. The landlord considers me evicted and is doing the standard maintenance of the grounds of a vacant lot. When the lawnmower man did my lawn on May 4th, 2010, he did my lawn under the orders from the landlord. The landlord wasn't going to do me any favors. He had already decided I would be evicted. The warning letter I received was dated May 3rd, 2010. The attempted delivery of the letter did not occur until May 5th, 2010. The lawnmower man did not come here to do my lawn. He came here to do the standard maintenance of a vacated lot. When the lawnmower man was here on May 4th, 2010, we have to conclude that he was here for that very reason, because there is no chance in hell he would ever come back to do my lawn if it is my lawn. And when I got a warning letter on May 5th, 2010, then it wasn't seriously a warning letter. The landlord had already decided to evict me regardless of the warning letter. When the landlord dropped off a lawnmower in 2007, he became enraged, completely out of the blue, for absolutely no reason at all. On later occasions, I attempted social conversation with him to see if that was a one-time thing or if he decided to be consistently angry at me. At some point, I gave up. I didn't want to talk to him. I didn't want him to talk to me. When the landlord showed up at my house on May 4th, 2010, unexpected and uninvited, I didn't want to have any conversation with him. I tried my very best not to get entwined into his tactics. I told him not to talk to me. He took my fear and twisted it around and used it against me. He took my stress I felt when he showed up at my house and turned it into a complete fabricated story that is an attack on him. On July 2nd, 2010, I got official court papers posted to my door. This is the landlord's official complaint for a court hearing to evict me. The landlord's motive to want to evict me is completely based on hatred and prejudice. His accusations against me are a facade to give the illusion of basing his case on anything tangible and are completely groundless. People have been bullying me my entire life. You can't tell a bully to leave you alone. The more you plead with them to stop, the more they attack you more. The more distressed you get from their bullying, the more they blame you for being distressed. I have a right to be safe and secure in my own home. I have a developmental disability that invites people to bully and victimize me wherever I go. There is no place on this planet that is safe for me. I have gotten so much abuse from people over the years that I have PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. I don't think I started out like this. My condition has gotten more pronounced as I get older. It is impossible for me to know for sure if I was born with a developmental disability when there's so much evidence of abuse I have gotten from people over the years. What the landlord is doing is a continuation of this abuse. He is violating my safety and security in my home. I am being terrorized by a landlord. I did not make this video to be exploitive. This is a cry for help.